welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. So today I thought I'd talk about my nighttime routine and how I relax and unwind to set myself up for a great night's sleep. So I have seen other videos like this about nighttime routines, and a lot of people get the chance to start unwinding when they finish work. I have 3 kids, so that's just not possible. It used to be just me after the kids go to bed, sitting down in front of the TV and watching Netflix because I was just too tired. I could not be bothered doing anything else. But then it really felt like I had never ever had any time during the day to actually focus on myself. And if I were to keep sitting in front of the TV for many nights in a row, eventually I would completely neglect myself and I'd really feel it. I'd be really angry. I'd be very stressed. So that led to me being a lot more mindful about what I do with the time that I have once the kids are in bed. So now I incorporate a lot of mindfulness into my routine. I make sure that I'm in tune with myself and I do what my body needs to set myself up for a better night's sleep and feeling a lot more refreshed in the morning. So step 1 is to have a small meal and an early dinner. Honestly, before kids, I used to eat dinner at maybe 7:30, 8:30, and I really miss those days where I could just sit down and be mindful about how I eat and have some quiet time. But now that's just not the case. So I sit down with the kids and I eat at about 5:30 to 6 o'clock. And I find that if I eat earlier, my body's able to digest the food that I've consumed, and that actually leads to a lot more restful sleep because the body gets to completely relax, and so does the digestive system. So when I do eat, I try to be mindful of what I eat and I guess listening to my body to when I'm actually full, because it's so easy to overeat, especially when the food is delicious. The best time to eat dinner is about 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. So step 2 is to have a lovely warm bath or shower. So I really take this time to allow the body to just relax. It feels so beautiful when the warm water just envelops the body and you just have a few moments to yourself that you might not have had during the day. I like to treat myself as if I'm in a day spa and there's no one else to focus on but me. Step 3 is all about skincare. So skincare is probably my most favorite step in my routine at nighttime. I never ever skip this because I think it really makes a big impact to the way I feel before I go to bed. I feel like I'm treating myself and I'm taking care of myself. So I really have researched a lot about skincare, and pretty much being simple is the best way to go. So I just make sure I moisturize and I'm putting on maybe a face mask, if not every night, but some nights where I feel I just want to relax and unwind, and it just makes me feel so good. And I would never skip that step, whereas I used to. I didn't really care too much about my skin, but now as I'm getting older, it's something that I really focus on and I really love to do. So the next thing that I do is I like to unwind by being mindful. So I tend to journal, but only for maybe 5 minutes. It's nothing strenuous, just to jot down things that I have on my mind, things that I wanted to reflect on during the day. And just to end it, I try and have a few things that I'm grateful for to really leave my journal on a positive note. And just remember that your journal is a private space and you can write anything it is that you want to write. Use any words that you want to use. But apart from also writing in the journal, I also love to do visualization and manifestation. I've heard that there are benefits to doing this before you go to bed in terms of raising your vibration. So I love to visualize, my goals, what it is that I hope to attract into my life. I've also recorded a meditation which I found really helpful in visualizing and putting you in the person that's living in the end, which is the best way that I found to attract things into your life. But after that, I like to do some meditation through using a body scan, which involves going through each part of the body and releasing tension from every part of the body. Because at the end, it makes you feel really light and there's no more tension left, and you can really relax and ease yourself into a great night's sleep. So then I try and incorporate reading. Now, reading is something that I have neglected for a really long time. It just seems that after university, I just became really busy with work, with kids, and I never actually dedicated any time to reading. And it's something that I really love to do. So I've really made a conscious effort to read. And so I have to read before I go to bed, and I might only read 5 to 10 pages. So if you put this into perspective, if you only read 10 pages a night, and that's every night for 7 days, you've already read 70 pages of a book. And then if you look at it in terms of a month, that could possibly be 1 or 2 books, which is a lot more than I was ever reading for a very, very long time. I also find that stretching your muscles after a really busy day is really relaxing and calming. Neck aches a lot, and sometimes my lower back does. So doing some really nice gentle stretches to release those areas makes me sleep so well. It's really important to not stretch your muscles when they're cold. So you might want to do a few cats and cows, just movements just before you start stretching, just to warm up the body so you're able to go deeper, and it's unlikely that you're going to pull any muscles and hurt yourself. So for me, it's been a major adjustment putting the phone away at least an hour before I go to bed, so I'm not just mindlessly scrolling. So we have a circadian rhythm, which is our internal 24-hour clock, and it responds to light. So when the lights go out, our body starts creating melatonin, which helps us fall asleep. And what studies have shown is the blue light from our mobile phones or computer screens can actually stop or reduce the production of that melatonin, which makes it really hard to fall asleep, and you'll probably feel the effects of poor sleep the next morning. Now, as I said, I'm a mum of 3, so I sometimes do not have time to do all these things. So it really depends on how much time you have. There are many of you who are really lucky to be able to wind down once work finishes and can do all these things, but also don't be hard on yourself if you don't have the time and you can't do these things every day. I mean, you're out there living life and you just got to do what's best for you. So let me know in the comments what mindful routines you have before you go to sleep, and what tips you might be able to give me to have an even better mindful night routine.